Hello, my name is Steve Bowler, and I'm going to welcome you to the Juniper vLabs lab number 1. In this video, what we're going to show you is some of the basics of Juniper vLabs. We're going to give you a brief introduction into the vLabs, and these are the topics that we are going to cover. We're going to show you how to gain access, how to launch a lab, and how to access a network device. We are also going to be using GitHub, and we will give you guys the configurations to all of the labs moving forward. So we're going to provide you with initial configurations to save you time so that you can follow along step by step as we go through labs. So this is the website that you go to access the vLabs, and you get access to the vLabs through Juniper support, usually through a solutions engineer that you work with, or a SME, an account manager, etc. So once you have access to the website, you're going to see this. You're going to sign in using your username and password, and then once you are signed in, it's going to take you to this screen, to the portal. So once you're in the portal, we have multiple options for environments that we can run. So these sandbox environments allow us to test out different things without affecting anything else. We have standalone devices that we can launch. We have some routing protocols that we can practice as well that are already pre-configured for the most part. It's pretty cool. We have switching labs, we have security labs where we can practice VPNs and security zones, etc. We have some automation labs and network management. So what we're going to do in this lab is we're going to just bring up a standalone vSRX. So I'm going to click on launch, and it's going to bring up a separate page. And it might take a second for it to load. But once it loads, what we're going to have to do is reserve the space. So I'm going to pause the video while it loads. Okay, so now that it's loaded, we can see that we have the vSRX on the screen. We're just going to go ahead and click reserve. And it's going to tell us everything about the reservation. We're going to use a 3-hour reservation. We'll just go ahead and click reserve. And this may take some time. You can see the setup is estimated to end in 16 minutes. So what I'm going to do during this reservation is I'm going to pause the video, but it's basically just powering up the virtual device. Okay, so now that the setup is completed, you can see that it shows setup completed. I also wanted to just show you too, there's a few other emulation applications that can be used. One of them is GNS3. That's one that I've used extensively. And then there's also EVNG, which is pretty powerful as well. You can see some of the labs that people have built. Very cool. So we'll go into all of these other emulation programs as well, but Juniper has their own, and so we will be using the vLabs currently to show you, to just give you an idea of what this looks like. So as you can see, the setup is completed. Now if I just hover over I can exit out of there. If I hover over the device and then click the drop down or hover over that and go to SSH, it'll bring up another session. We'll go ahead and hit allow. And we're at the command line of the vSRX now. So just like if you were on an SRX firewall, You do a show configuration. There is a baseline or a template that is pre-built when you stand or launch one of these firewalls. It's got FXP0 interface. We've got some security zones. So it's pretty cool. We can go into configuration mode. We could make a change if we wanted to do a set interfaces loopback 0. And then assign an address to that. Let's just say 1.1.1.1/32. And then if I go ahead and do a commit and quit, you're going to see an output that says ignoring license for feature. So it looks like it's not going to work, but if I go do a show interfaces terse, what we can see is the loopback 00 that we just created is present. We can do a show configuration interfaces loopback 0.0, and you can see the configuration. I can do a set interfaces loopback 0.0 description and just put test. Let's do like vLab test, commit and quit. And now if I look at the interface again, you can see that it took that command. So that's it. That's pretty much how to get up and running using the Juniper VSRX inside the Juniper vLab as a standalone device. So what we'll do in some of the other labs is we are going to be performing some of these security labs. So we'll go through how to set up security zones. We'll just do some simple trust to untrust zones, and we'll create policy in between the zones to allow traffic. We'll set up IPsec VPNs, both policy-based and route-based. Maybe do some natting labs as well. If we go back to the sandbox, what we can look at additionally is the instructions for the lab. If you just click on that tab, it'll give you a brief description of the lab and things that you can do inside the lab. So as we can see on the box, there's no in-band interfaces. Our loopback interface is configured. So what we did was we configured a loopback and showed you guys that that works. And then we can also see how much time we have left if we just scroll over the active tab. You can see that we have 2 hours and 40 minutes left. So if we go back to the device, let's just run a ping, see if we can ping the loopback, and we can. So this is just the beginning. This is just showing you some of the commands that you can do within the VSRX. We have a lot more to cover. And so I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next video.